The shipping process has definitely been a doozy. A lot of work has gone into this, a lot more than I anticipated, but you know, you never truly know what it's going to be like until you're like in it. Don't attack my camera, please. This part of the process was the most nerve-wracking for me. This is what I was the most nervous about because I didn't really know anything going into this. I was winging it. I learned a lot of things and I made a lot of mistakes. I wanted to make this video to demystify the process for you guys, get a feel for what it's really like and what you're up against. Everyone's project is completely different, so this is my experience. I did everything myself, basically part-time. My full-time job is looking after my toddler, so I was working basically like at nights and during nap times. So if you have a full-time job or like I'm doing this or doing this kind of like around all of your life and other things, completely doable. The product I made was a tarot deck, a journal, and a playmat, but mostly the product was a tarot deck. I sold 346 decks and I ordered 500. I sold 63 playmats, 66 journals, of which I ordered 100 each, 57 hand-drawn buttons, and 8 mini paintings. So those are kind of the numbers I was working with. And before we get into like the real meat of this video, I wanted to give an important warning, a learning lesson that I experienced. Do not rely on ChatGPT or any other AI in 2025 to give you correct shipping knowledge. It could be overwhelming to like dive into like such a seemingly complex topic as like shipping packages all over the world. So you may be tempted to turn to, you know, to AI to just tell you what to do. But now that I'm through this, I can tell you that it's not actually that scary. You can figure it out on your own. And AI is too confident and wrong all of the time. So through shipping alone, AI cost me $1,200. Oh, no. Because it very much underestimated the amount of money I would need to ship out all of my orders. So learn from me, please. Do not make my mistakes. Do not rely on AI. It's not there yet. It cannot help you. Basically what I did is that I asked it to like help me figure out, like I got the size and like estimated weight of my package and then asked it to give me like average shipping costs per region, but the average shipping costs were not correct that it gave me. Maybe it was correct many years ago, is not correct now. So that is something you need to do like real, actual, updated information for. What I would do instead of asking like ChatGPT or whoever, is I would make a kind of like a mock spreadsheet and go on like Google Maps, get a bunch of random addresses in different locations. So I would specifically do like one in your town, one like halfway across the country, and then one all the way across the country. And then I would do an address from all major English-speaking countries, because that's probably where your next big bulk, if you're like United States and like an English-based person. I got a bunch of people from all over the world. I got people from China and Thailand and Germany and the Netherlands. That was the most expensive package that I sent. It was like $70. So like get them from everywhere, just kind of get like a good basis. And then put them on the spreadsheet and then upload the spreadsheet to like a shipping software. I used Pirate Ship, really liked it. I had like no problems with it. Or it'll make like a batch of like rates and you can see all of the different rates for like the different areas and stuff. And like on average, what it's gonna cost. So you can have a better idea of how expensive it is and not just go off of vibes, you know? On the flip side, separately, something I did do right that saved me a lot of money was I opened a business credit card. I mentioned this in part 1, but I opened a business credit card with an intro bonus where if you spend a certain amount of money, they'll give you a certain amount of money. So I used that to pay for everything. So I got the bonus and I got a bunch of cash back. Or I ended up giving $900 cash back from the business credit card. So basically they cancel each other out and I only lost $300 from my stupid tax. So, you know, save yourself the trouble. So obviously the first big step after you finish your Kickstarter and you get all your money is to order all your products. I talk about that mostly in the first part, or I go into a little bit more information in that in the first part, but something you're gonna wanna keep in mind in like the reality of it is you're gonna need a place to put all of this stuff. It's gonna be a lot of stuff, especially with all like the shipping information or the shipping boxes and everything. You're gonna need like a garage or like a dining room you don't use or like a part of an office that's just gonna be full of stuff. So you're gonna have to find a place to put everything. Hey everybody, today is Monday, August 4th. And I am a good chunk of the way through shipping out all of the Silly Goose Tarot boxes. This will eventually be the master bedroom, but it is like in the worst shape out of all the rooms and desperately needs like renovation. The stuff that we're gonna need to build new walls and stuff is still in here. It's a room we haven't been using. And then once you start, once you get everything, there's probably going to be some sort of assembly process depending on your product. My tarot deck, I had to, like everything came flat for shipping purposes, obviously, to save space. So I had to assemble all the boxes, the inserts, and then put the cards, the booklets and the inserts in the box myself. So there is a lot of labor that is gonna go into your product probably, depending on, you know, the manufacturing process you use. First step, we have 54 boxes that I have to hot glue. This is one of the problems I've come up against as I've manufactured the boxes, is that the adhesive is not strong enough. Came with like tape, and the tape is not, I haven't been able to get the tape to stick. So I have to re-glue all the boxes. Originally, I bought like a ton of different types of super glues, and I was using those, but these were just not it. They weren't always sticking in the first try, and it was just like a waste of time and money because I had to keep buying more and more. But so I'm using hot glue, and that has saved me so much time and energy. Hot glue it is. So I'm gonna spend the rest of however long it takes me to hot glue all 54 boxes together. Would it be great that I didn't have to do this for every single box? Yeah, but you know, it would have saved me a lot of time, but it is what it is. And then also, especially if you're gonna be making custom and handmade stuff, that's also gonna take a lot of time. Like the paintings and the doodled buttons that I made, those took a lot longer than I expected. So once everything's assembled and you got all of your bits ready to go, next part is to make an organized spreadsheet for easy shipping. You're gonna make yourself a lot happier if you like have a system down. So kind of what I did was, first of all, you can download all of your backers' information. In the backer report section of Kickstarter, they give you a bunch of options where you can download all of the information that you need. You can just like get one mega spreadsheet of all of the orders, but for me that was a little daunting and I like to kind of break it up into chunks. So I would just do one tier at a time, starting with like the first tier, which is just the Silly Goose tier with just a deck. And then that's gonna be the biggest tier anyway, so start there and then go more and more complex as you go up the tier. So today, I'm working on batch 3. I already sent out 2, like I've been working in batches and just kind of like shipping as I finish stuff. So I've shipped out 114 decks so far. And today I'm gonna work on the next, I think 57 packages. We're slamming through the biggest chunk first, and then it's kind of gonna get more, not complicated, but like the bigger boxes with bigger orders and more stuff in them are next. But this is easy because it's all pretty much the same weight, same box, and I can just kind of slam it out. I would show you my spreadsheets, but they contain all of the personal information of everybody who backed the deck, so I can't do that. But essentially what I did was I would take each tier and break it up into 2 spreadsheets. The first one would be everyone who got the same thing, and then the unique orders. I would upload the spreadsheet into Pirate Ship. It would just take all the information from the spreadsheet, and then you would just put in like your box like information, like weight and like all the stuff that's in it. There's also like a part for like customs where you like, it's pretty self-explanatory when you get in there. They make it really easy for you. And then you can just batch buy and print all of the labels. And you don't have to do it individually because that would have been a pain in the ass. Cool tip for when you do the unique ones, so if you have to like individually input information, if you upload the spreadsheet to Pirate Ship and then once you go to make individual shipping labels, it'll auto-populate all of the information from a person, which was really nice and made the process a lot less painful. Yeah, I really had no issues with Pirate Ship. Highly recommend it. It's free, obviously non-sponsored. Nobody's trying to sponsor my channel yet, but something that did happen that it was super easy to fix. Just in the very beginning, when I was trying to make my first purchase, I had to contact customer service to prove I wasn't a robot or suspicious, because my first order was very big and like over $500. So I imagine that they just wanted to make sure I was a real human trying to use their site. So, but that was the only thing that was like minorly difficult, which it wasn't. Also, everything is a pirate pun on that website, and that's kind of silly. I enjoy that. And then I just drove it to my local post office and a bunch of totes. I just brought it in, and everyone was really nice, and they just scanned it, and I didn't even need to do anything. They had my email, and they just emailed me the receipts every time. And then I could see the tracking information right on Pirate Ship. So if somebody has a problem, I can look up their order and see if it shipped or where it is. So it was like super easy. Like it's not rocket science. The shipping process is not hard, I promise. The thing about it is it's just like tedious and repetitive and time consuming. Let's pull a Goose of the Day card. This is my personal deck, by the way. Boop. The 8 of Swords, which feels pretty accurate, I'd say. Oh, I know. How about we read it in the booklet? Limitations, helplessness. The barriers you face are not as solid as they seem. Free yourself from mental traps. Yep, I'd say my own cards are reading me to filth right now. Yeah, absolutely. The shipping process has definitely been a doozy. A lot of work has gone into this. A lot more than I anticipated, but you know, you never truly know what it's gonna be like until you're like in it. It's just kind of something you gotta get in the groove with. In the beginning, I actually really didn't mind it. I enjoyed myself. Just kind of like tuning out, listening to like a YouTube video or music and just vibing and like assembling things was actually like a nice break from like all of the art and stuff. But there definitely gets a point where you're just like, oh my God, I want to be done. This is boring. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm a bit of a one-woman show, and so I got to do all the work myself if I want it done. And I've been working on this project for so long that I'm definitely getting to the point where I would like to be starting something new. I'm missing making art. I've been in production mode for so long that I really miss like creativity and like drawing and painting and making stuff. But oh God, all right, we're ready. And as I sit here with the wall of boxes, it just kind of feels almost like an insurmountable force that I will never ever conquer, but that's not true. I know that for a fact. I'm like I think I'm a third, if not more than a third of the way done. It's just I've been spending basically all of my extra free time, not all of it, but most of my extra free time doing this. And you know, when you sign up to be an artist, you're not really thinking about all of the late nights staying up to hot glue boxes together, you know, in the vein of the Eight of Swords vibes. You know, when you're faced with a particular chapter of life that isn't the best, it's a little grueling, you know, and it's not just like art and business, it's anything for me, like pregnancy, especially the end of pregnancy, or like stuff that you just kind of have to quote unquote suffer through. Two kind of trains of thought. One, everything we're doing is difficult. And two, the only way out is through, you know, at like 8 months pregnant, like, I think that was really like when these thoughts like really stuck with me, because like, if you've never been pregnant before, 8 months is when you're just like physically miserable because you have like an 8-pound little baby tumor inside of you, and it's very uncomfortable, and you just have to wait until labor, and that's the only thing you can do. You just have to wait it out, and it sucks, but that's just, it is what it is. Sometimes life is uncomfortable, and the only way out is through. Luckily, this process has not been nearly as bad as, you know, child labor. I'm also very grateful to be able to do this, and I love this thing so much, and I'm so happy that I get to ship it to people, and people have already received their orders from like last week, and two people have left some really nice comments on the Kickstarter page, and they're really happy with the deck, and that is, it just like refuels me. It's like in a video game, like getting like a, I don't know, like a complete like health regen. Every time I get a positive comment about Silly Goose Tarot, I'm just reinvigorated to hot glue 54 more decks. I'm extremely grateful, and you know, you just have to be patient with yourself. When you're, see, look completely just like unglued. Obviously, it's my first time, you know, working with manufacturers and doing all of this, so I've had to face a lot of beginner taxes, whether it be my own time and effort or money. When you do something for the first time, you're gonna make mistakes, and you're not always gonna make the right decision the first time, and that's fine. And there's no judgment, no guilt here. That's just the learning process. But now I know for next time. Oh God, sorry, we got some hot glue on the table. I need another stick. So one of my eternal struggles as a mortal human artist and mother is that I just like don't have enough time in my head, obviously. I just wish I had more time to do everything, and if I only had enough time, that I would be happy and that all of this will be done. But sorry that I haven't been posting a lot. I really genuinely miss making YouTube videos, and I've been kind of struggling with my time management, in the fact like any time I try to, like, filming is easy because I can just multitask a bit and film as I go, but editing, on the other hand, like anytime I could be editing, I could also be, you know, working on shipping stuff, and just like if I think about like what to prioritize, I feel like shipping should come first. Like anytime somebody pays for something, that's probably the biggest priority in my mind. So I've been kind of slacking on the social media aspect. of my job, which is fine. It happens. Kind of go through seasons with things anyway, but I guess a positive, unexpected upside of not posting a lot is that I really want to. Like like anytime, it seems like anytime I start doing something, I start looking forward to, you know, the part after. Like I can never just enjoy what I'm doing in the moment. I always have to be longing for something in the future, it seems. I can't just be happy. Great, what's with that, brain? Side tangent, a good thing about going through and having to re-glue all of these tabs down is sometimes I notice I forgot to put a booklet in some of the boxes when I was assembling everything. So it's a good quality control check before I ship things out to people incomplete. So, you know, there are silver linings to everything. You can always find a positive somewhere. And before you know it, you're done. For me, it took me about between 3 to 4 months from the end of my Kickstarter to get everything shipped out. I still have 8 more orders for the highest tier. I have their paintings. Woo. And I managed to hit all of my shipping deadlines. I guessed that it would take, that people would get their decks in August, and I pretty much hit that, unless international stuff took longer, but pretty much hit my goal. And then these guys will get it in September, which is what I guessed, and I was right. So that's good. I enjoyed that, and I did not go into debt, which is great. I didn't overshoot too much. So that's good. A fun byproduct of all of this time and effort is that I no longer feel bad about charging money for the products I make, because that was a lot of work. Yeah, I hope your time fulfilling and shipping is as painless as possible. Godspeed, soldier. Good luck, and also congratulations. You got this. I believe in you.